Welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we're going to exploring the exciting world of generative AI and how it's going to impact the future of work.
Yeah, definitely exciting stuff.
We've got a pretty cool set of sources lined up for this one.
Oh, yeah.
A timeline of how AI has developed over the years.
Nice.
A look at what generative AI can actually do, like what's it good for.
Hmm.
And we've even got some career advice from an AI expert named Ibrahim Hamid Shalabi.
Oh, wow. I'm excited to dig into that.
Me too. This Shalabi guy seems like a really interesting figure, actually.
Okay, yeah, how so?
Well, he's a seasoned engineer and business development professional.
Okay, typical background for this sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly. But get this, he now describes himself as an AI agent for customer service for websites.
Whoa, that's a new one.
I know, right? Talk about adapting to the times, huh?
Definitely seems like he's embracing how AI is changing things.
Absolutely. And he's not just working with it,
Yeah.
he's actually created a whole training course on generative AI too.
Wow. Okay, so he really understands this stuff inside out.
That's what it seems like. So yeah, his insights should be pretty valuable, for sure.
Okay, I'm ready to dive in when you are.
All right, so let's start with the timeline of AI development.
Okay.
It really shows how far AI has come and how fast things are accelerating.
For sure.
Especially with this rise of generative AI in the early 2020s.
Yeah, that was like a total turning point.
Right.
Suddenly we've got these models like ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, Claude, and Llama all popping up.
So many new names to keep track of.
I know, right? And they're all pushing the boundaries of what AI can do.
Yeah, it's not just about processing data anymore.
Nope.
They're actually creating things.
Mm-hmm.
Content code, you name it.
They can analyze all this super complex information, too.
And interact with us in a way that honestly feels kind of human sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It really is. Like, AI is everywhere now.
Yeah.
From those chatbots we were just talking about to self-driving cars.
Oh, yeah.
Even those Tesla Optimus robots that we keep hearing about.
Oh, yeah, those robots. They're a pretty,
What are you going to say?
Oh, I was just thinking they're a pretty clear example of how AI could actually start replacing certain jobs.
Yeah, it's that whole idea of robots taking over physical tasks.
Exactly, something we definitely need to be prepared for.
For sure. But the sources we've got also point out that this isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Like, AI could also free us up to focus on other things.
Like what kind of things?
More strategic stuff, creative work, even things that are just more fulfilling.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And that actually brings us to Shalabay's concept of, what did he call it? AI prompt engineering?
AI prompt engineering, okay.
Yeah, basically he's saying that we need to learn how to actually talk to these AI tools.
Talk to them.
Well, communicate effectively.
Okay.
So we can get the most out of them.
So it's not just enough to, know how the technology works.
Right.
We need to know how to give it the right instructions.
Exactly. It's almost like learning a whole new language.
The language of AI.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And just like with any language, the more fluent you are, the better you can express yourself and get what you want.
I like that. So in a way,
Yeah.
mastering AI is about really understanding its strengths and limitations
Okay?
and then figuring out how to work with it.
Like a collaboration.
Exactly. It's almost like having a super-powered assistant.
I like that analogy.
They can do a lot of the heavy lifting,
Yeah.
but you still need to know how to guide them and get the best out of them.
Makes sense.
Which leads us to the whole discussion about human skills.
Oh, right. The stuff that's going to be even more valuable in an AI world.
Exactly. And our sources highlight a few key ones.
Okay, like what?
Analytical thinking, adaptability, social influence, and good old-fashioned creativity.
The stuff AI can't replicate, or at least not yet.
Exactly. And Shalaby makes a really interesting point about building diverse experiences.
Hey, what's that all about?
He's saying we shouldn't get too caught up in having like one job title
Okay.
or being really good at just one specific thing. Instead, we should be constantly exploring, trying new things and just broadening our horizons.
So don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone.
That's it.
I like that. And it sounds like that's exactly what Shalabai has done in his own career.
Oh, yeah, totally. He's a perfect example of this.
Going from working at Apple to being an AI agent for customer service.
I know, right? That's a pretty big shift.
It really highlights how important it is to be adaptable.
For sure. And it makes me even more curious to hear what he has to say about the future of work.
Yeah, me too. Let's dig into that next.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so it sounds like Shalabai is not saying AI is going to replace us.
Yeah, he's definitely not in that camp.
More like it's a tool we can use to our advantage.
Exactly. It's about human plus AI working together, not fighting each other.
Yeah, I like that framing a lot better than the whole robots taking over thing.
Me too. And he actually sees this shift towards AI as a positive thing overall.
Really?
Yeah, he thinks it could even lead to some serious financial benefits for people.
Oh, okay, so there's money to be made here.
Potentially, but only if you adapt and develop the right skills.
Which brings us back to those high-income skills he keeps mentioning.
Right, so what are they exactly?
He talks about things like data analysis, AI prompt engineering, and machine learning.
Okay, those all sound pretty technical.
They definitely require a solid understanding of AI and how to use it effectively.
Data analysis, I get that.
Yeah, it makes sense with all the data we're generating these days.
But AI prompt engineering, what is that?
So basically, it's all about learning how to communicate with AI systems.
Okay.
Think of it like this. You have this super powerful tool,
Mm-hmm.
but if you don't know how to use it properly,
Yeah.
you're not going to get the results you want.
Okay, that makes sense.
So AI prompt engineering is all about mastering the art of giving AI the right instructions to get what you need.
So it's kind of like being a conductor leading an orchestra.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
You're not playing every instrument yourself, but you're guiding the musicians to create something amazing.
Exactly. And just like a conductor needs to understand each instrument,
Yeah.
an AI prompt engineer needs to understand the capabilities of different AI models.
This is making me think about the future of education.
Oh yeah, how so?
Like, will we need specialized schools for this stuff?
That's a good question. Honestly, I think we're going to see a big shift in how we approach education and training in general.
You think so?
Yeah, traditional methods just might not cut it anymore, with AI evolving so rapidly.
So it's not enough to just get a degree and call it a day?
Nope. It's all about lifelong learning, constantly updating your skills.
So what advice would you give to someone who's like, okay, I need to upskill for this AI future?
Well, Shalaby actually offers some pretty solid advice.
Okay, what does he say?
He says, think long term, don't just focus on your current job.
Mm-hmm.
Understand how your industry is changing because of AI.
Anticipate the changes and prepare yourself.
Exactly. And that might mean learning totally new skills, going back to school, or even switching careers entirely.
Okay, so be flexible, be open to change.
Yep. He also talks about building diverse experiences.
What does that mean?
Don't limit yourself to just one set of skills.
Right.
The more you know and the more you can do, the more adaptable you'll be.
So it's not about being a specialist, it's about being well-rounded.
I like that way of putting it. And again, Shalaby is a great example of this.
Yeah, he's really walking the walk.
Totally. And it's encouraging to see that you can not just survive, but actually thrive in this AI world.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about AI's impact on individual careers.
Yeah.
But what about entire industries?
Oh, that's a big one. Our sources actually mentioned that AI is already being used in healthcare, education, even the arts.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing. In healthcare, it's analyzing medical images, helping diagnose diseases.
Wow.
In education, it's creating those personalized learning platforms.
Uh-huh.
And in the arts, AI is actually generating music artwork, even writing scripts.
That's wild. So many
It
possibilities.
feels like we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do.
Definitely. Okay, so does Shalabai have any thoughts on which industries are going to be hit hardest by AI?
He doesn't pinpoint any specific ones,
Okay.
but he says any field that involves data analysis, pattern recognition, or automation is ripe for disruption.
Which makes sense. AI is really good at all that stuff.
Exactly. But it also raises the question of what happens to the jobs that AI takes over.
Right. Will there be enough new jobs to make up for the ones that disappear?
That's the million-dollar question, and there's no easy answer.
Yeah.
But Shalabai is actually pretty optimistic about it.
He is.
Yeah, he believes that AI will ultimately create more opportunities than it eliminates.
So it's a net positive for the workforce in his view.
That's what he thinks. He says AI will free us up from all those boring, repetitive tasks
Okay.
and allow us to focus on more creative, strategic, fulfilling work.
But what about the people whose jobs are replaced? How do they adapt?
That's where upskilling and reskilling come in big time.
Right. We need to help people develop the skills they need for this AI-powered world,
Exactly. We need a major overhaul of our education and training systems.
both for individuals and for society as a whole.
Absolutely. This whole conversation just highlights how important lifelong learning is going to be.
Yeah, it's not just a nice to have anymore. It's essential.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so let's switch gears a bit and talk about Shalabai's own experience as an AI agent for customer service.
Yes, I'm super curious about that. What does that actually look like?
Well, remember, he's got this deep understanding of AI and how to use it.
Right.
So he's probably using all sorts of AI tools to automate tasks, analyze customer data.
So he's not just sitting there responding to emails all day.
Nope. He's using AI to streamline his workflow and make himself way more efficient.
So it's like a hybrid approach to customer service.
Yeah, exactly. AI handles the routine stuff, and he steps in for the more complex things that require a human touch.
I wonder if he uses one of those AI-powered dashboards.
Oh, yeah, our sources mention those.
Yeah, they're becoming really popular with engineers, apparently.
They're super powerful for visualizing data and making decisions.
Can you give me an example of how an engineer would use one?
Okay, so imagine a civil engineer working on a huge construction project.
Okay.
They could use a dashboard to track the progress of the project in real time,
Oh, wow.
monitor the budget, identify any potential risks before they become big problems.
It's like having a virtual assistant who's constantly analyzing data and giving you insights.
That's a great way to put it, but it also makes you wonder, Could these dashboards eventually replace engineers altogether?
Ooh, that's a good question. If AI can analyze the data and make recommendations, what role is left for humans?
That's a valid concern, but I think AI is still just a tool.
Okay.
It can provide information and suggestions, but ultimately, humans are the ones making the final decisions.
It's about finding the right balance.
Exactly. Using AI's strengths, but not forgetting the importance of human judgment, creativity, problem solving.
Which brings us back to those human skills we were talking about.
Full circle. Those skills are going to be more crucial than ever as AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
It's about finding that sweet spot where human intelligence and artificial intelligence work together.
Yeah, it's citing something even more powerful and effective than either one could be on its own.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities, but it also feels like a lot of responsibility.
It definitely is. We need to be proactive about adapting and embracing this new reality.
This whole conversation has really emphasized that the future of work is something we're actively shaping.
Exactly. And those who are willing to learn, adapt, and evolve are going to be the ones who thrive.
You know, it's really impressive how Salaby's positioned himself like right at the forefront of this whole AI and customer service thing.
Yeah, he's not just talking the talk.
He's living it.
Exactly. And that gives his perspective so much more weight.
Oh, absolutely. And his advice about investing in companies that are leading the AI revolution,
Oh, yeah. What about that?
that was super interesting to me.
It makes sense, though, right? As AI gets bigger, those companies are probably going to see huge growth.
That's what I was thinking. Investing in them could be a way to not just make money, but
Mhm.
also stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, like having a front row seat to the whole AI revolution.
Exactly. And it all ties back to what Shalabai keeps saying about being proactive and embracing change,
Right.
recognizing that AI isn't just a fad.
It's a total game changer.
Exactly. One thing that's been striking me throughout this whole conversation is that it's not just about the technology.
Yeah, what do you mean?
It's about us. It's about people.
Oh, yeah, totally. How we adapt, how we learn, how we interact with these machines that are getting smarter all the time.
You said it perfectly. At the end of the day, the AI revolution is a human story.
I like that.
It's about our ability to innovate, to learn, to adapt, and to make sure we're using these powerful tools for good.
It's also making us ask some pretty deep questions.
Like what?
Like, what does it even mean to be human in a world where machines can do so much of what we used to think was only for us?
Right. It's a huge philosophical question alongside all the technological stuff.
Definitely makes you think about our values, our purpose, our place in all of this.
This is why I find the whole AI discussion so fascinating. It's not just about the tech, it's about the future of humanity.
It's about our relationship with technology and how that's going to evolve.
And understanding that AI isn't the end, it's just the beginning.
It's a chance for us to redefine our roles, reimagine what's possible, and build a better future together with AI.
Well, this deep dive has definitely given us a lot to think about.
For sure.
I'm feeling a mix of excitement and a little bit of nervousness, but mostly I'm optimistic.
I think that's the right attitude to have.
Yeah, the challenges are real, but the opportunities are huge.
Absolutely. The key is to stay curious, keep learning, keep adapting, and always try to use these tools for the right reasons.
I love that. And remember, everyone, this isn't a journey we're taking alone. We're all in this together.
Exactly. By sharing what we know, working together, and supporting each other, we can make sure AI benefits everyone.
Well said. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. It's been a really thought-provoking conversation.
My pleasure. And to all our listeners out there, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep exploring this incredible world of AI.
It's changing our lives in ways we're only just beginning to understand. Sadie 632.